So finally, after years of waiting, we are going to be getting a new premium Battlefield title this year. And I have to say, the hype around the newest Battlefield title is pretty extraordinary. In fact, it's so big and so extraordinary that you actually have a lot of the Call of Duty community excited for this game. They can't wait to get off Call of Duty to play this new fresh Battlefield game. So I thought it would be the perfect opportunity to do a classic Call of Duty versus Battlefield video. I'm going to be going over all of the pros, all of the cons for Call of Duty and for Battlefield, and then we're going to try and see if there is even a distinct winner. So we have a lot to discuss and to talk about within this video, so without further ado, let's jump into it. I would also like to quickly add that because we do not know too much about Call of Duty's newest premium title, only a bit of leaked information that is subject to change, I will be using Warzone as another comparison to the newest Battlefield because it still falls under the Call of Duty umbrella. And if you'd like to see more of these videos on Call of Duty and maybe even a bit of Battlefield, make sure you subscribe into the channel. And if you do go on to enjoy this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. It helps me out and it helps the channel out. But first of all, let's discuss Battlefield 2042. The hype around this game is popping, so let's start this video off as a bit more of a positive one for the Battlefield 2042 pros. So the first thing that we all can agree on is the graphics look great. Now with next generation gaming coming into effect now and game developers having a lot more ease to do what they want with the graphics and up them a little bit more, this really comes as no surprise, and I think we'd all be a bit disappointed, especially with all the natural disasters that go on around the map, that if the graphics were poor it would definitely be a huge disappointment, especially given how long DICE and EA have spent developing this game. I also think that the natural disasters are an absolutely incredible thing. It's never been done before. I know that in Black Ops 4, for those Battlefield players that don't know, there was actually a sandstorm map, but all that would happen is there would be like an orange haze in front of the screen. These are good, proper natural disasters. This isn't a little orange haze in front of you. This is a flipping tornado that is coming to eat you. It's fresh, it adds dynamic, and not only that, if you get killed by one of these things, it will fling you miles into the air, and if it doesn't fling you miles into the air, you can get killed from the debris that is emitted from these things. I think that the natural disasters thing in Battlefield is such a fresh, such a cool idea that adds an entire different dynamic that we haven't seen before in Call of Duty. My only concern would be that these things appear too regular. If we just look at the trailer as an example, in each of the trailers that we've seen for the newest Battlefield, we've had quite a few clips that have orientated around the natural disasters, and I think if they're too frequent, they become annoying. But if you can get a healthy balance between the amount of natural disasters that spawn in and that don't, I think that it's going to add a really nice dynamic and it's going to keep the game fresh for a lot longer. Another huge pro in my book is the game will not feel rushed. The last Battlefield title that we had dropped in 2018 and we haven't seen one since. So they've had years to develop, to fine tune, to tweak this game, and it's probably one of Call of Duty's biggest problems is that a game is released but it's only half finished, it feels rushed. For those Battlefield players watching this video, last year we got a premium title which was called Black Ops Cold War. Now this was developed by a company called Treyarch, who got brought in to develop that game with just over a year to go. Now they could start development with some foundations, but they almost had to start the game completely from scratch because there was some internal issues. So Activision, the main publisher for Call of Duty, only gave them a year and a half tops to create a game. And if you've played this and you're a Call of Duty fan, and if you haven't played this and you're a Battlefield fan, this game does feel rushed. All of the maps that we've seen in this game, 90% of them have been remastered maps taken from old Call of Duties. All the guns that we've seen have basically been ported over from old Call of Duties. It's a rushed game that has just been pushed out to get a premium sale once a year in November. Now, I know there are many more pros for this game, but I don't want to drag out for too long and waste everyone's time, so I'm going to be going on to my last pro now, which is the weapon customization. What you can do now in Battlefield 2042 is actually edit your classes while on the fly. You can literally be sat in a corner and you might want a sniper scope on your sniper instead of an iron sights, and you can now change that. I think it's such a cool feature that they've added, yet it's also so simple. Call of Duty did attempt something similar to this, except you could only edit your classes, and then to get those edited classes in game you had to die. So now on to the cons for Battlefield 2042. Now, because we don't know a lot about either of the games, I'm only going to be doing short lists, so short pros, short cons, and then maybe in a couple of months time, when we've learned more about the games, we could do another more updated pros and cons Call of Duty versus Battlefield. But the first con that I have is no single player campaign. Now, this is actually a pro and a con in my opinion, because if they're doing no campaign, it gives them plenty more time to work on the multiplayer, and it can be their sole focus, so when it does come around to playing the game, you're getting the best experience possible, where they've not had any distractions working on a campaign. But there is also an issue for this, and that is a lot of people do like playing the campaigns. Now, I'm going to be 100 with you, I've never really played Battlefield. I've played it a few times, but I've never played it enough to enjoy it. I don't really like the bigger maps, and I prefer Call of Duty's style of smaller maps and fast-paced gameplay. So I don't actually know how big of an issue a campaign is for the Battlefield community, so I want to hear all of your thoughts down in the comment section below. Would you prefer a Battlefield with a campaign, or would you prefer it without a campaign so they can work more time on the multiplayer? Another con for this game is there is no battle royale. Now, I know that you could say that Battlefield is sort of like a battle royale in terms it's got the huge maps, it's already got the player counts to support it, and with the natural disasters moving everyone about, it's very similar to the storm system that happens in most battle royales. But EA and DICE have both said that all of the modes that are currently in Battlefield 2042 are specifically not battle royales. Now, whether they're not adding in a battle royale now and saving it for a couple of months time, we do not know. But at the moment, as far as we know, Battlefield will not come with a battle royale. And a battle royale is big business. Fortnite has made billions. Warzone has made billions. All of these are free-to-play battle royales that use in-game skins and in-game content, sort of like apps do, to make a huge profit. And even if you wasn't to look at this as a lucrative business standpoint, they are immensely popular. Warzone has 100 million active users. Fortnite probably has something similar. People love battle royales. Fortnite has stayed relevant for years now after everyone thought it would be around for a few weeks and then drop off the map. But it's still here, and all it is just one single battle royale map. And my last con for Battlefield 2042 is there are only going to be 3 modes at launch, as we know right this second, which I think is pretty bad. I think with Call of Duty we expect a lot, and for the vast majority of the time we get a lot. We've always got team deathmatch, domination, search and destroy, hardpoint, many modes across the board of multiplayer. But the fact that Battlefield is only getting 3 does sound a little bit disappointing to me, and the fact that they're not even getting something as simple as team deathmatch at launch from what we know this very second is a little bit disappointing to me, and could be quite bad because it might get stale quite quickly. But before we go any further, if you guys have enjoyed the video so far and you want to see more of this Battlefield versus Call of Duty a little bit later on in the year when we've got some more information on both, make sure you're giving this video a thumbs up. And if you want to see more Call of Duty content, make sure you're subscribing to the channel as well. So now let's dive down the dark rabbit hole, which is Call of Duty pros and cons. Now remember, I will be discussing COD Vanguard, which is Call of Duty 2021's title, and Warzone, just because at the moment the information on Vanguard is very limited. So the cons: Vanguard will likely be rushed. Now, this is old news for Call of Duty fans, but for Battlefield fans, this is probably newer, juicier information for you guys. We have had reputable leakers inside the Call of Duty community, and not just one, but a few, come out and say that Vanguard is in a very bad state. Now, I know that Activision had an investors call, and within the investors call, they said everything was great. Nothing's wrong and it's still due to release in November, but you have to remember that was an investor's call. Activision has to keep those people happy, so they keep investing their money. If they feel like the Activision wheel isn't turning and isn't operating as usual, they will not invest their money and Activision will lose out. The next con that we have, and this is across the board since the release of Warzone, and that is hackers.
Somebody clip that, please. Somebody clip it. This kid is cracked.
Oh my god! This is the most egregious shit I have ever seen.
Get the manual review going. We got him. I am manually reviewing this guy.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! I want to throw up! He's letting himself revive! Oh my god!
Yeah. This is gonna destroy this game,
This is gonna ruin this game.
So if you couldn't tell from those few clips that I just showed you, Warzone has a huge hacker problem, and the hacker problem is actually so bad that what they've started to do is move on to the premium titles. There used to be no hackers in Call of Duty, and then we get Warzone, they start hacking on Warzone, and they think, why don't we play some Black Ops Cold War, and they start hacking on the premium titles as well. And in the end, it's this huge snowball effect of just more and more hackers, because people keep dying to hackers. They're like, well, if I can't beat them, join them. Now, Activision's response to this, them being a multi-billion-dollar company, is just to ban hackers on a free-to-play game. That is like losing a limb and then trying to plaster up the bleeding. Like, imagine losing your entire flipping leg and then trying to put a plaster on it to stop the bleeding. It just doesn't work. So it's the same on Warzone. You try to ban hackers on a free-to-play game, you ban one account, they go and make another account. And there was actually a YouTuber that had an interview with a hacker, and the hacker said that he has like 15 accounts. So when one gets banned, he just moves on to the next one. It's that simple, and that is a huge issue, not just for Call of Duty, but even for Battlefield if it was to release a Battle Royale. Another con is the skill-based matchmaking, which isn't really skill-based matchmaking anymore. Activision have changed it to more like optimized based matchmaking. It's essentially their way of trying to make you play their game much longer. It started off as a simple skill-based matchmaking algorithm that gradually over time changed so you're enticed to spend more money and spend more time on the game. Now, this is a huge issue because all of the OG older Call of Duty players have basically quit now. They don't like battle royales, they just want to play some 6v6 chilled out COD, but they can't because of the skill-based matchmaking in place. And for the Battlefield players that don't know what skill-based matchmaking is, it just takes all of your in-game stats and puts you into lobbies with people that have similar stats to you. So you can never get a game where you're absolutely curb stomping new players, because you're always going to be playing players that are a similar skill to you. And the last con that I have for Call of Duty and Warzone is the fact that we get so much remastered content. As I mentioned earlier, Vanguard will likely be rushed because of how bad of a position it is. So what do you think Activision is going to do to fill the gaps? Are they going to give them more time to develop the game so it's not as rushed? No. What they will do is they will just port over all the old assets from past Call of Duties, they'll remaster new maps and then bundle it all together and then give it to us for $65, which is a little bit criminal when you think that in Black Ops Cold War's case, we are paying pretty much for old content. Now I know there is a lot more cons to Call of Duty, but there is also a lot more pros than what I have down, and this video is already a very long video, so I don't want to make it any longer for you guys. So that is all for the cons. Now let's move on to the pros, and I have to say, for the small amount of Warzone in-game events that we do get, they are always so much fun. I have to say that during the nuke event for Warzone, I had so much fun. I was live streaming. I had like 100 viewers live just watching me play the game. We was all chatting, enjoying ourselves. Black Ops Cold War's reveal, once again, I didn't live stream it. Many other people were. It was fun. Everyone was happy. Everyone was even excited for Black Ops Cold War until we got it. So I do think that although the Warzone events that we do get are very limited, the ones that we do get are still very good and fun. Another good pro is that live banning is now starting to happen. Now I know that I said that when they ban people in a free-to-play game, it's like losing a limb and then trying to put a plaster on it to stop the bleeding. It doesn't really have an effect, but I do have to say that it is also a step in the right direction. It's just proof that they are trying to listen and they are trying to work on it, and there is even possibly an anti-cheat in development. Although it is still a big problem, at least we think something at the moment is going to be done. Another huge pro is that apparently the Vanguard Warzone crossover or integration is going to be incredible. There is going to be limited destructible buildings, the map will be bigger, the player count will be larger. So from what we know at the moment and the very little information that we know of the Vanguard at the moment, it is looking very, very nice indeed. Warzone is also free to play, another huge aspect and a huge pro that you don't need any money. You don't need PlayStation Plus. If you're on PlayStation, you can literally download it and go and play with your friends. You don't have to worry about paying for online because Warzone and Sony have a deal. A lot of people I know were concerned that Sledgehammer Games is going to be developing Vanguard, and they developed Call of Duty World War II, and some people didn't like Call of Duty World War II, and even after the overhaul, when they had a bit of a change up of leadership, they still didn't play it, but after the overhaul, it was actually a very good team. But even if all of that still doesn't take your fancy, do not worry, because there is a whole new Sledgehammer Games team. It has basically been built from the ground up again, so those that developed World War II may not necessarily be on the 2021 Call of Duty Premium title development team. But that has been the video. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. I know that there was many more pros, many more cons for each of the individual games, but I didn't want to stretch this video for too long. It's already about 17 plus minutes long, so I don't want to make even more pros and even more cons and make it even longer than it absolutely has to be. So that's been the video. Let me know if you have any more pros or cons down in the comment section below. If you are new, make sure you're subscribing to the channel. If for whatever reason you did enjoy this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. But thank you all so much for the support. This is LUKEY, and I'm signing out. Peace.